All right, so I'm drawing just the compound path here that I can modify later. Just the inside. I'm going to select that with the jaw. Up there it is. So these two together, hold down Shift. Pathfinder tool. Fill it all in. There we go. Do some more. Get kind of a gross gum line. And we learn through repetition. Okay, now I'm just going to modify these existing ones with the pencil tool and make it into what I want. Okay, I'm almost done with my black and white, and I'm ready to save it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I can add color, mess with it. A strong logo, a well-designed logo ready to send to a company should be transparent, should only have black and then nothing behind the black, like this. And that's why I put this red here, so I could see if I had any other colors or things interfering with it, because those would usually print unless they're just solid white. But not doing color quite yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is save this. Well, I should save it first and foremost just as an AI file. Has my name. So it doesn't have my name. Assignment 6 Sketch Zombie. Let me make sure it has my name. Save as Carl Fry. Assignment 6 Sketch Zombie. It's an AI file. Now I'm going to save it as an EPS file, and that will allow me to transfer it into other programs. EPS to the desktop. Okay, now to make a print-ready file for that EPS, I open up Photoshop. And I create the raster resolution that I want. So I want to print this to fit within an 8x10 matte window. So I'm going to say File, New, 8 inches by 10 inches tall by 350 pixels per inch. I'm going to call this Carl Assignment 6 black logo. It's an RGB mode. Background is white. There it is. And now this is the tricky part. I take my EPS file, which is shown as a vector on the desktop, and it looks like it's cut out like a sticker, a black vinyl sticker on graph paper. If I open that in preview, it shows up like that. and you see that the border, the artificial border that Preview puts in and artificially fills it with white. Preview didn't used to, it used to let the gray come through. But it's hugging it, and I don't want it to print that way. So instead, I'm going to minimize Illustrator here. So I just have Photoshop open. Just like its photo reference for one of our composite projects, I'm going to drag the EPS right onto my Photoshop format. And it will come in as what's called a smart object. And I'm going to leave it a smart object. So now I just need to place it. This is the 8x10 by 350 pixels per inch that I'm going to print. I'm going to hold down Shift and Option and just grow it inside that space to look good. Right? And my logo is taller than it is wide, so I want to have this as a portrait format. I'm not adding any text. You know, I could do that maybe later. I like how the jawline of the teeth kind of looks like the mustache. But that's it. You know, that's all I need for my black and white logo. And then I'm going to save it, File Save, as a PSD file. And because it's a smart object, no matter how I change the format or the resolution, I can always make my vector look really good in that resolution. So I am rasterizing my vector this way, but as a smart object, I can always re-raster it to always fit a new resolution. And so that's how I'm able to print it. So now that this is the right size, the right resolution, I am going to, if I want to make it print ready, I'm going to say Layer Flatten Image. So it's one full flattened image. I already have my PSD saved, and I'm going to save it as my print ready PR, Carl Assignment Black logo, and as a TIFF, because that saves memory from the PSD with LZW compression turned on. LZW is a lossless compression format that saves memory. Okay, now I'm done with that. Oh, if I want the JPEG, sorry, I should do that. If I want the JPEG to be able to upload, I can do this in Photoshop or in Preview. In Preview, I will export it as a JPEG as well to the desktop. All right, and that's what I'll upload along with my sketch. And now I need to do my color version. And I liked this reference for some colors. Good zombie colors. Remember, the color is just supposed to support it. But now I'm going to create layers underneath all my black lines. And I'll put this red behind just so you can kind of see how this works. And if I want to steal these colors, I can simply bring in that JPEG file or open it in Illustrator. Live trace it really quick, but this time I haven't live traced color so far, so now I'm going to live trace color. I'm going to go to the options and I want to say, okay, give me a high fidelity photo, which will be as many colors as possible. Remember, I can always set those things here too. So it's live tracing for high fidelity. That looks pretty darn good. It's got a lot of little variations that are actually kind of nice. And then I say expand, and now that's a vector that I can copy, Command C, go back to my original, put it into a new layer here, edit, paste. Okay. And while I have the large selection tool and it's all selected, I can shrink it down, because all I want this for is to select some colors from. Put it down here. Then I'll move that layer down beneath my red. Okay, so how does that work? Well, I'm going to make a new layer above my red, and I can label it if I want. I'm going to call it my color layer, so I can turn that on and off whenever I want to get back to my black and white. And just like this is just flat color behind black outlines, I'm going to steal that color. So I'm going to use the dropper tool and steal that bone color. And now I'm just going to draw. I have all my other layer groups protected. And I'm just going to draw a shape behind my black lines that kind of fills in that skull. I like to use the pencil tool. You could use the pen tool. You could use clean shapes if you want. My teeth I'm going to make a slightly different color. So it's like stained glass windows. I'm going to put the colored glass behind the black lines I've already created. Okay, so if I want that to be filled, I'm going to use the dropper tool and pick that bone color. It looks different with the red around it, but that's the same color right there. Oh, maybe not, because I chose only web colors. So let me do it one more time. There we go. Now it's that color. Now the eye sockets, maybe I want that to be a deeper color, so I can just cut more paper on top. And I'll choose another color, maybe this brown here. Or maybe something even darker, like that red. Ooh, that's kind of creepy. Or this purple. So the dropper tool is really handy. For this other eye socket, maybe something slightly different. And of course, whoops, I can use my pencil tool to redraw these shapes to keep them under the logo. I want you to keep your coloring pretty simple for this. So now for my teeth, just fit the piece of colored glass behind my line work. I like to put a big color panel like the red behind, just so I can see all this work clearly. Then I use the dropper tool, maybe go a little bluish for the teeth, or more brown. Yeah, that's nice. Then for the lower jaw, I'm just going to find a flat color for it. Right, and then if I want that to go darker, I can simply steal from what I've already chosen. I think that works pretty well. Now for the hair, it's tough because he has white hair, but I might give it kind of the yellow. And it's just like cutouts of paper, right? But in the hair, I might give it an extra layer of color. It would be what's called duotone cut edge color instead of just flat color. Give it a little sheen. But what's the yellow here? Yeah, that works. And if I want to give it a little extra sheen somewhere, I just draw a new shape. Maybe a highlight right here. I don't know if I'll like this, so I'm just going to try it out. A new cutout shape, and I'm going to choose a lighter color for that. Like maybe just go back to white. And I can do as many of those as I want. So color can add complexity, but it shouldn't take away from the graphic quality of what you have. And then because I did that, maybe I need a little bit of a shadow color here. It's because there's a lot of empty space there, so something kind of grody looking. I'm going to steal a color. Oh, not that. Yeah. So I think that's working pretty well. If I wanted to add more shading in, I could, but I don't want to overdo it. So